Welcome to Summer Reboot. My name is Dimitra, and today's topic is sleep. Do you think you got enough sleep last night? How about this past week? And can you remember when the last time was that you woke up without an alarm clock, feeling refreshed, ready to go, just feeling really good? And if the answer on either of those questions is no, then know that you are not alone. Because two-thirds of the adult population in developed countries fail basically to sleep the recommended 8 hours. And I doubt you're surprised by this fact, but you might be surprised by the consequences. Like Matthew Walker in his book, Why We Sleep says, sleep is the single most effective thing we can do to reset our brain and body health each day. Mother Nature's best effort yet at contra death. So why is it so bad? Like, what is happening when we don't sleep enough, right? Well, routinely sleeping less than 6 to 7 hours a night demolishes basically your immune system and it doubles basically your risk for cancer. Insufficient sleep is also a key lifestyle factor determining or not if you will develop Alzheimer's disease. Inadequate sleep, even moderate reductions for just 1 week, disrupts our blood sugar levels so profoundly that you could be classified as a pre-diabetic. It also increases the likelihood of your coronary arteries becoming blocked and brittle, setting you on a path basically towards cardiovascular disease, such as getting maybe, stroke or any heart failure. So not enough sleep can also contribute to all major psychiatric conditions, including depression, anxiety, and suicidality, extreme sadness as well. So do you feel like you need to eat more when you're tired? Like, do you feel like you get the munchies? And if so, just know that it's no coincidence, right? So too little sleep basically swells concentrations of a hormone that makes you feel hungry. While at the same time, what it does is it suppresses another hormone, a companion hormone, that otherwise signals food satisfaction. So despite being full, you just want to eat more and more. Basically, it's a proven recipe for weight gain in sleep-deficient adults and children. The worst thing, though, is that if you try to diet while also not getting enough sleep, it's really pointless because most of the weight you'll lose will come from lean body mass and not fat. So the outcome is the shorter you sleep, the shorter your lifespan. And I mean, who doesn't want to live forever, right? Amazing breakthrough. Scientists have discovered a revolutionary new treatment that basically makes you live longer. It enhances your memory. It makes you more creative. It also makes you look more attractive. It keeps you slim and lowers food cravings. It protects you from heart attacks and strokes, not to mention diabetes. And you'll even feel happier, less depressed, and less anxious. So, are you interested? If so, let's go. But I have this little story for you. When I was a child, like in the, I want to say 80s and early 90s, we would vacation every summer with my family in Greece. And every town and city we would visit, we noticed the same thing. And it was noticeable for me because I was born and raised in Sweden. So Greece was always summertime, vacation time. But what I noticed was that in every storefront window, the open hour sign stated the same thing. Open from 9 to 1, so 9 a.m. to 1 p.m., closed from 1 p.m. to 5 p.m., and then open again from 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. Now, today, few of those signs remain in window shops throughout Greece. So right before the millennium, there was a big pressure to abandon the siesta-like practice in Greece. So a team of researchers from Harvard University's School of Public Health decided to basically quantify the health consequences of this radical change. So what they did is they studied more than 23,000 Greek adults, men and women between 20 and 83 years old. And what the researchers focused on was the cardiovascular outcomes, and then they tracked the group across a 6-year period as the siesta came to an end for many of them. So as with countless Greek tragedies, the end result was heartbreaking in the most literal way. So none of the individuals had a history of coronary disease or stroke at the start of the study, indicating basically the absence of cardiovascular ill health. However, those that stopped taking a regular siesta went on to suffer a 37% increased risk of death from heart disease compared to those who maintained regular daytime naps from between 30 to 60 minutes a day. And the effect was especially strong in working women. So the result of not napping increased the mortality rate by well over 60%. That's crazy, 60%. So in places such as the island of Icaria or Icaria, something like that, right? Men are nearly 4 times as likely to reach the age of 90 compared to American males. So these napping communities have sometimes been described as the places where people forget to die. So let's look at some tips to help you get a better night's sleep. Number 1, find a routine. Routines work. A sleep schedule is highly beneficial for your overall health and well-being. Also, cut the late night cardio. So if you want to work out, just do it 2-3 hours before bedtime. And reduce caffeine and nicotine. Caffeine blocks the signal from adenosine, crucial basically sleep chemical in your brain, and nicotine can lead to very light sleep. Also, tamp down the alcohol because alcohol can rob you of your REM sleep, which is that deep slumber that your brain requires for optimal function. Talk also to your doctor about your medicine schedule. So if you take any heart or lung medication or over-the-counter cold or allergy drugs, see if you can change that up, if you can basically take them earlier during the day because they can disrupt your sleep patterns. The other thing is try to eat light at night. So make small snacks or eat snack basically nighttime compared to heavier, bigger meals because bigger meals can cause indigestion, which then interferes with your sleep. Also try to avoid drinking a lot of water or any fluids before bedtime. So sip, the couple hours before bedtime, sip more than, guzzle down a whole water bottle. Why? Because it will disrupt your sleep and you'll want to wake up and you'll need bathroom breaks, etc. Also leave time to unwind. So create a relaxing routine before bedtime, like reading. I love reading. It makes me fall asleep really easily, especially if the lights are dimmed and I'm laying in bed. Calming music also helps, or any white noise app you like to use. Practice maybe some gentle yoga, like yin yoga or restorative yoga, or just some really gentle yoga poses to slow down. Baths are also really great. Taking a hot bath before bed can actually drop your body temperature once you're in bed, which makes you fall asleep easier. You feel sleepier basically and more relaxed. I like to add lavender to my bath. It's great for insomnia or if you just have a hard time falling asleep, and it also makes you smell really yummy. The other thing that I've tried to do more regularly is to check my devices at the door. So think cool, dark, and gadget-free when it comes to a bedroom. So charge your phone maybe in the living room or the kitchen and get rid of any electronics or that make noise basically, or even have like these little bright lights like red, blue, green little lights. And the other thing is if you can ditch your alarm clock, then that is like golden as well. Last couple things. Sun exposure. There's nothing better than the sun. Just going outside, being outside in the natural sunlight for at least 30 minutes a day. It can help regulate your sleep pattern, and also turning the lights down before bedtime. So dimming the lights maybe in the living room or the kitchen, the room you're in before you go into your bedroom, helps before bedtime, basically helps you by avoiding disrupting your melatonin production. My last tip, which I tend to not be able to fall asleep really well when I have a lot going on, is, so my last tip is this. If you lay in bed and cannot fall asleep, like you're laying in bed and you like counted and listen to meditation and you did everything you can imagine, and nothing is happening, then get out of bed. So if you can't sleep within the first 30 minutes, I'd say get out of bed and do something relaxing, like do a little yin yoga or listen to a yoga nidra or maybe meditate for a few minutes, like anything that relaxes you. Maybe take a bath if you haven't taken a bath, like anything that will make you feel a little bit more relaxed. So I'm sure that most of the things I shared with you weren't things you haven't heard before, right? It wasn't like the first time ever. But if you're anything like me, then you have to hear them a few times before you really take action and do what you know is the right thing for you and for your health. So happy napping. That's going to become my new habit. And I wish you a great night's sleep tonight and every night. Be well. Thank you for being here.